So we'll pick up where we left off last time in the prior video, but today we'll actually be going through and executing a pass the hash attack. Now I know this is what you guys have been waiting for, and honestly I'm really excited to do this for myself, so I hope that you guys are all ready to actually dive into this attack. It's Novice here, and in this video we'll be executing a pass the hash attack. Now, before actually hopping into our environment, I'll have to walk through the test environment setup. Now, for this attack, we'll have three, count them out, 1, 2, 3 different machines that we'll be using. Now, the first is a client that holds the valuable hash information within it. Now, there are many ways to go about obtaining hash information, but for today, we'll be using Mimikatz to do so. Second, we'll actually have an attacker machine, our Kali Linux friend. Now, this machine is what we're actually going to use to gain access to our third device. And that device will be our DC, the big domain controller. Now we'll be using our administrator password to log into the DC from our attacker device. Now with that breakdown out of the way, we can begin to execute the attack. So we'll turn our attention over to the virtual machines. Okay, and now we actually have our VMs pulled up. So on the screen, what you guys will see is actually our attacker machine as well as the client that we're going to pull our hash information from. So to actually begin this, as I explained prior, we're going to be using Mimikatz to actually dump password hash information that's stored on this client. Now for this client, we're currently logged in as a local administrator. However, there are multiple ways that password hashes can be stored, whether it be through the cache or through LSASS or the SAM database. So in this case, what we're gonna do is use Mimikatz to go through to actually dump the passwords that it holds. Now my hope and intention is that it has the password for an administrator for the domain. So we'll go ahead and get started. So for this, we're actually gonna get a command prompt, and we're gonna run it as admin. And now we can actually begin. So I'll change directory to downloads. And then from here, I think Mimikatz should be in here. Yep. Oh, I have to actually turn this around. Okay, now from this point on, what we're gonna have to do is actually work through the Mimikatz own way of accepting commands. So first, what we'll actually have to do is to make sure that we have the correct privileges. As I said previously, we're already logged in as domain admin, but we still do have to run this with the local domain admin privileges. And to do that, we have to type out privilege, : and then debug. Once you get that privilege 20 OK, that means you're good to go. It now has the local admin privileges. Now we can actually run the command that we really want, which is sekurlsa : and then log on password. The passwords. And then from here, we'll wait and see all of this information that gets dumped for us. Boom. So this is a whole bunch of hash information or different passwords, tickets, anything that could get you authenticated through different means that is displayed here. But I'm going to look for the administrator on our domain, which we've called my first domain. And if we're able to find that, I believe we'll be good to go. And here it is. So we have found the administrator for our first domain. Now what we're gonna have to do now is actually take this NTLM password and use it in our attacker machine to actually create a session from our attacker machine to the actual machine that we want to attack. In this case, our domain controller. So now we're actually gonna switch over to our attacker machine. Let me actually type in the password. Wouldn't it be fun if we couldn't log in? All right. Now that we're here, what we're going to do is we are going to run the Evil-WinRM command. Now with this command, you do have to name your target IP address, the hash that we've obtained, which is right there, as well as the username that we're trying to use. As I said prior, the way that Windows computers authenticates is either by having a username or a password, or a username and a hash. In this case, since we're doing a pass the hash attack, we're obviously trying to use the username and the hash. So we'll go ahead and start this off, but it might already pop up since I've had a chance to test this out already. Boom. So this is the exact hash that we have here, but if you guys don't believe me, we'll take the first 6 and the last 6 to compare. So we have E993CF, E993CF, where is this? 40D438, 40D438. Now, I'm not gonna show the domain controller in this one, but it is on, so this should work in the way that we want it to. So after we run this, we have now established a connection to our target server. Now this is the easiest way to actually run this, because now we have an endpoint here, or not an endpoint, we have a session here that we can do whatever it is that we want to do here. So I'll just do who am I, and it shows you that we're the first domain administrator as opposed to that local administrator that we started off as. Now, honestly speaking, that's essentially it. What we could try to do is try to run some commands to like send a file from my computer to this, from the target computer, no, from the target server to my attacker computer, or run some commands that actually dump either more passwords from the domain controller, or if possible, you can even start your own remote session based on whatever the DC is connected to. Essentially, what I'm trying to say is that there are a lot of possibilities on the things that you can do, because now you have access to a domain controller, which obviously has the ability to do more over a domain than any regular computer. But for now, that is it. I just wanted to show you guys how pass the hash attack really worked, because doing this after getting the hash and then using the tools, it's a pretty simple process to do. And with that, we have completed our first pass the hash attack. We were able to go through, dump the hashes using Mimikatz from a local computer. Then from there, we were actually able to see that a domain admin had already logged in, get their hash, pass it using the Evil-WinRM tool, and finally we actually got access into the target server, in this case our domain controller. Now that is it for today's video. I hope you guys liked it. If you guys really mess with what I'm doing over here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If for some reason you didn't like the video, or you think there's things I can improve on, please leave that in the comment section below and let me know. And I think that's it for me. So I'll leave you guys alone for today. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Novice out. Peace.